Preston's largest crowd of the season turned out to celebrate the club winning the third division title. An amazing 18,700 fans packed into Deepdale, and they weren't let down as Andy Saville took his tally to 30. It took until 20 minutes from the end for them to stretch their advantage. Graham Atkinson tried his luck from long range, and it nearly paid off. The ball smashing against the post. Fortunately for them, Steve Wilkinson was on hand to knock in the rebound. Preston then promoted as champions. They step up in class and must now come to terms with the demands of second division football. Gillingham will be joining them nearly a year after going out of business. The performance, though, was anything but convincing. Striker Leo Fortune West's header was good enough to defeat Scarborough by the single goal. Heartbreak for Darlington, who were highly confident of winning promotion at Scunthorpe. Their away record is hugely impressive, just one defeat. John Eyre threatened to put a dent in that. Darlington behind with only 4 minutes on the watch. And a half an hour later, Eyre staged a repeat performance. 2 down, the game looked out of Darlington's reach. But the fight back began on the hour mark as Scunthorpe conceded the penalty. Matt Appleby put away the spot kick to give them some hope. And that comeback gathered pace as 8 minutes later, with the Scunthorpe keeper Gary Germain caught in no man's land, Robbie Blake nodded in the equaliser. There was a dramatic finish to the match, 2 goals in the final 4 minutes. Scunthorpe, who were assured of a mid-table finish, could have been tempted to ease up. Instead, they pressed for the winner, with Andy McFarlane putting them back in front. Mark Bernard pulled Darlington level a minute later with a headed goal from a set piece, and it finished 3-3. That scoreline meant Bury could pip them for the one available promotion place. Struggling Cardiff were no match. They found themselves trailing to a David Pugh goal after 25 minutes. The second half saw Bury confirm their superiority. David Johnson ignored the attentions of his marker, kept his composure, and was rewarded as the ball dropped into the net. Bury were on a roll. Tony Rigby added the third to make sure there was no way back for Cardiff. An emphatic victory, but would it be enough? The fans awaited the news of Darlington's results. Their rivals had only drawn. The celebrations could begin. Bury were promoted. Next to Home Park for Plymouth's match with Hartlepool. Commentary from Martin Dean.
Well, they're looking to get the cross in towards Littlejohn. Evans, laid off for Littlejohn. Littlejohn puts it away, and Argyle have taken the lead. And we've played less than 2 minutes on the watch. Really leaving it for Barlow. Cross in towards Heathcote, who's on the line. Well, that's number 2 for Argyle. Played better than with the corner. Logan is in the middle. Playing towards him, Logan with a header, and he scored!
Hereford joined Plymouth in the playoffs. It took them until the stroke of half-time to break through a stubborn Rochdale defence. Nicky Cross judging the angle to perfection. It's the goal scoring of Steve White which has kept the club in the chase for honours. Coming up, his 33rd goal of the season. A veteran he may be, but his value to the team can't be overstated. Wigan lost out on a playoff place as they suffered a surprise home defeat by Northampton. There was no sign of what was to follow when 11 minutes in, Mark Leonard climbed highest to edge Wigan in front. Ian Atkins' Northampton team produced a stirring fight back. Ian Sampson made it all square with a close-range finish. And in the final minutes, the club's leading scorer, Jason White, who'd been brought on as a substitute, broke Wigan's hearts. White first to Neil Grayson's knockdown. Wigan 1, Northampton 2. Colchester took the final playoff spots. Their upturn in form, which saw them lose 2 out of 16, proved decisive. Paul Gibbs, the match winner, just before half-time. The player admitted afterwards it was meant as a cross, but as Wembley beckons, that won't bother him. Layer Road was a scene of celebration as Colchester stay in the hunt for promotion. Chester were another side who narrowly missed out, that despite winning their final game. Leroy Chambers set them on their way with a scrambled goal after 66 minutes. Ian Robinson's razor-sharp reactions look to have done enough to earn Mansfield a point. But in the last minutes, Chris Priest slid in the winner, but results went against them, and Chester will be playing in the 3rd Division next season. The Arsenal manager Bruce Rioch was among the crowd at Underhill. He saw Sean Devine steal the show with a 2-goal display. The Fulham defence fell apart as Devine opened his accounts on 4 minutes. The player then turned creator to send Lee Hodges racing into space. Hodges decided to go it alone, and the choice was the right one. Barnett 2 up, and Devine capped a fine individual performance with Barnett's 3rd in the closing minutes. Manager Ray Clements now believes they have a solid foundation to build on as they bid for honours. A bad-tempered affair at the Abbey Stadium, 3 players sent off, including Cambridge's Tony Richards and Orient's Mark Warren for the challenge on Trevor Benjamin, which led to a penalty, converted by Micah Hyde. Glenn Cockrell was next to go for a second bookable offence. Cambridge stretched their lead from the penalty spot. Kevin Austin penalised for that challenge, and Micah Hyde scored his 2nd of the match to condemn Orient to their 15th away defeat in the league. Another heavy defeat for bottom club Torquay. Their league status is safe, thrashed 5-0. Colin Outside started the ball rolling as early as the 2nd minute. Jason Burnett increased Lincoln's lead from the penalty spot. Outside then claimed his 2nd and Lincoln's 3rd of the game. Eddie May, who'd agreed to stay on for this match despite resigning as Torquay boss in the week, must have wished he stayed away as substitute Brett Story hammered in Lincoln's 4th. Stephen Holmes completed the rout. Now Torquay begin their search for a successor to May. Russell Osman, Roger Gibbons and Steve McCall head the shortlist.
Darlington began the day in 3rd place, but their failure to win means Bury are up after beating Cardiff. Plymouth, Darlington and Hereford are joined in the playoffs by Colchester, who squeezed in because Wigan lost. So did Torquay United, beaten again, but they'll live to fight on next season, it seems. The conference champion Stevenage cannot be promoted.
Oxford United have written one of the success stories of this season. 3 more teams can, of course, still be promoted through the playoffs. Watch out for coverage on ITV over the coming weeks. But that's it from Ensley League Extra. It's been an eventful year, all right. We'll see you next year. Bye-bye.